editor of the big issue, and Inia Florian Iman, journalist and commentator. The front page of The Sun and then the inside paper of The Sun, Inia, is talking about the huge fallout of Andrew Mountbatten-Windsor. His titles have gone, he has to leave Windsor, he's heading to the Sandringham estate. But the public fallout, the public perception of Andrew, a commoner, is as low as it can get, as low as it's ever really been.
Yeah, I mean, the polling shows that the overwhelming majority of people in the country support the move to remove him from his titles. Obviously, we do have to remember that he still, denies all of these accusations, but the reality is that the pressure is really mounting. And on the page 4 or 5 of The Sun, it's slightly tongue-in-cheek,
sure.
But it is very interesting. It is essentially reporting that he has a collection of, I think, 72 teddy bears.
Incredible.
And that would be part of the thing that needs to be moved when he eventually has to leave the Royal Lodge. And I think it was also reported that he would often scream and shout when his teddy bears are not in the correct position. And so this...
that's like most 65-year-old men who behave in that way.
Yeah, so it does say something about his character, and that he is obviously slightly odd in many ways, and has strange habits, to say the least. But it is just another example of... He's obviously lived this life for decades, thinking that there would never be any challenge to the things that he regarded as normal, and now it's really coming to bite him.
Yeah, and there's some reporting that potentially him and his stuffed toys could be moved on by the new year. We shall see. Paul, let's move on to the front page of the Financial Times and Rachel Reeves and her budget, and the ideas that are being floated around to kind of fill that black hole include more taxation on mansions, as it's being described in some of the papers today. But that was an idea that even, I think, George Osborne floated, didn't he?
It was, and we're in November now, just 3 weeks and a bit away from the budget. So all these particular ideas are rising up. Yes, this is essentially a mansion tax by another name, which would be popular. But the problem is, what exactly does a mansion tax mean? According to the FT here, they're saying that higher bands of council tax will be raised on particular value properties, and that income will then, rather than go to local authorities, which need it, it will go to the Exchequer, which also needs it. But it is a curious way to treat council tax, which is it's not particularly fair taxation anyway. But at least it will look good, because it will bring in some money, and will allow her to say, well, we're going after those, as she keeps saying, with the broadest shoulders. The caveat here, and the slight problem, is that band H, which is the top band, is for properties valued at £320,000, which for an awful lot of people in Britain with staggering property prices, that pushes them into that band, and they will not see themselves as wealthy or living in mansions. So that all these issues are to be resolved.
And I just think this is inevitably, when you do things that might on paper look popular, like going after the rich, the reality is actually it often falls on middle income earners. As we just heard that if you're living in London, that's far below the average house price.
Most people.
Yeah, for most people, in general. So it might look in a headline that you're going after the rich, but when we know that people's assets have appreciated in value and they may be cash poor, then that could actually be costing people quite a lot of money.
OK. We're going to park that for a moment. We're going to move on to The Guardian. This is page 4, and this is a story that they're reporting on, Paul. Dozens of child asylum seekers missing from the care system.
Yeah, it's horrific. They had a Freedom of Information request that they put into Kent County Council because there were 345 children were documented as missing from the care system. Most, thankfully, have been found, but 56 are still missing. These are lone asylum seeker children who have come in, you're not entirely sure how, maybe small boats, maybe hidden in the back of lorries. And they've just gone, potentially into the hands of people traffickers and facing a real horrific future. The Guardian has broken down the nations where they come from. Most of them are Albanian.
Yeah,
and then
Albanian children.
Afghanis and Iranians. But this, I suppose, is a small part of a much bigger picture, but it just shows how complex and broken the asylum system is in Britain, that 50 kids could just disappear in the ether.
Inia, can you take us through this next story? It's in the Times, it's page 8, and the Mayor, Sadiq Khan, facing questions over London's grooming problem.
Yeah, there's been some research that has essentially showed that there are group-based child exploitation gangs operating in London. And the reason this has caused more controversy is because earlier in the year, I think January, when the controversy over grooming gangs reignited in the public debate, when asked by Susan Hall about them, the former Tory candidate for Mayor of London, he obfuscated, to say the least, or essentially suggested that most of the grooming gangs were related to county line drug gangs. But it actually has been revealed that this is something that is taking place in London. And it's not surprising. It's a huge city. And the Mayor should be very open and honest about it.
OK, we have 30 seconds to go. This is in the Daily Telegraph, and Kim Kardashian believes and been assured by NASA that the moon landing was not fake.
Thank God. Thank God that
We
Kim
all know it happened.
Thanks, Kim.
It's OK.
Kardashian.
Apparently, Kim had said that she had heard Buzz Aldrin say loads of times that it was faked. Obviously,
On
Buzz
that
Aldrin
note,
hadn't said
we are out of time.
that.
Thank you. Join us after the break.
What might happen if Russia attacked the UK?